Hi, I am so excited that you are joining me today for a session on financial aid for study abroad for your upcoming summer study abroad program. My name is Sharon Beers. I work in both the study abroad office as well as the Office of Scholarships and Student Aid, and I've been at UNC for about 10 years now. And similar to you, I also had the opportunity to study abroad while I was an undergrad student. So I'm very excited for you. This will be a transformative and life-changing experience. Today, I'm going to specifically talk about the money side of things, financial aid information for your summer study abroad program. We'll also talk about program budgets, how to review those and look at those. We'll look at cashier's account charges and what the disbursement of your financial aid looks like for the upcoming summer, as well as a few minutes for refunds and budgeting. So my goal is that we cover all of this information today in hopes that when you are abroad, the last thing that you're having to worry about is money or financial stressors, because we've handled and talked about all of the questions and concerns that you may have ahead of time. For your summer financial aid package, you can anticipate those being available to you in your Connect Carolina Student Center by late April, maybe early May. At that time, you'll receive an email notification from the Office of Scholarships and Student Aid, letting you know that, hey, your summer study abroad financial aid package is available to view. At that time, you can log into your Connect Carolina Student Center and take a look at the types of aid that are available to you. On this slide, you'll see several of the types of aid that you may anticipate. So if you received the federal Pell Grant this past fall semester or this current spring semester, you can anticipate seeing a smaller prorated amount in your summer financial aid package. Some of you may qualify for the study abroad grant through the Office of Scholarships and Student Aid. Some of you were selected for study abroad office scholarships. You will also see those in your financial aid package if you were selected for one of those. And then finally, some of you received the $5,000 summer study abroad fellowship upon admission to UNC. If you are using that this upcoming summer, you will also see that in your summer financial aid package. And there are no additional steps that you need to take for any of this type of aid. You will also probably see some loans in your summer financial aid package. There are two different types. There are need-based loans. That's going to be your federal direct subsidized loan and or a university loan. And then there's also non-need-based loans. This would be your federal direct unsubsidized loan. So again, loan funding will be in your financial aid package to let you know that it's available, but by no means do you have to borrow it. It's simply there should you be in a position where it makes sense to borrow some loan funding. You also have the option of borrowing only a portion of it instead of all of it. But again, we will include the maximum amount that you're eligible to receive, just so you know what's available to you. If you do want to borrow your loans, after you have access to your summer financial aid package, that's when you would go ahead and accept your loan in your Connect Carolina Student Center. So there are some action steps for the loans, but not for any of the scholarships or grants that may be in your summer financial aid package. I want to transition and talk a little bit about your study abroad program budgets. So hopefully at this time you've had a chance to look at your budget sheet. If not, no worries. You can navigate right now to the Study Abroad Office website, specifically to your summer study abroad program, to the program brochure page. On that page, you'll see a link that says costs and scholarships, and you can go ahead and click that. And it'll take you to your specific budget sheet for your program. You'll want to scroll down and make sure that you're looking at the summer budget and not a fall or spring semester budget. A few things to keep in mind. Each budget is made up of billable expenses and non-billable estimates. So if you look at these two budget sheets, College Year in Athens and Yonsei University, you will see the green that outlines the billable subtotal as well as the non-billable subtotal. The billable subtotal can also be referred to as cashier billed expenses. Essentially, these are going to be the charges that you see physically posted to your UNC cashier's office student account. So those will be the charges that your financial aid can first help cover. And then the second part of each budget sheet is called the non-billable subtotal or out-of-pocket estimate. Essentially, these are expenses that the study abroad office knows are very real to you, but you don't pay UNC directly for those. So for instance, your plane ticket, you're going to pay whatever airline you book through directly, but it's still included in the budget sheet because it is a very real estimate of an expense that you will have while studying abroad. The budget sheets do include budget notes, so I encourage you to take a few moments and read through all of the budget notes. They have very helpful and additional information for you. And then one other thing that I wanted to point out is housing and meals. These can be different from program to program and budget sheet to budget sheet. So if you look at the College Year in Athens budget sheet here, in pink, you'll see program costs. That actually includes housing. And in the budget notes for this program, it'll say that the program costs include housing. For the Yonsei University budget sheet, the housing and meals are estimates, so they're not billed to your UNC student account. Rather, you would pay Yonsei University directly, or if you've arranged off-campus housing. So just something to keep in mind. You might see housing and meals either in the billable, again, the cashier billed expense section, or you might find them in the out-of-pocket estimate section. And essentially these charges, so those cashier billed expenses or the billable subtotal, those will be charged to your UNC summer student account, typically in mid-April or so. So that's when you'll start to see your study abroad charges for your summer program. Again, your financial aid package will be available to view, I believe, in late April or so, potentially early May. And what will happen is that all of your summer financial aid will post or disperse to your student account right around when summer session 1 UNC on-campus classes start. So for this summer, you're looking at a little bit after May 11th is when your financial aid will post to your UNC summer student account. If you're eligible for a refund, that would be generated within a few days or a week after UNC classes start. And that refund would be directly deposited into your personal bank account, whichever one you use to sign up for the electronic refund process with the cashier's office. If you're not sure, you can reach out to the cashier's office and ask them what personal bank account you used when you signed up for the electronic refund process. And then finally, you might be wondering, well, how do I calculate my refund, or what does that look like? What you'll do is you can add up the financial aid that's been offered to you, so any scholarships or grants and any loan funding that you do plan to borrow. And you can subtract out that cashier billed expense subtotal or the billable subtotal on those study abroad office budget sheets. And the difference, if you're receiving more in financial aid than what the cashier billed expenses are, that difference will be what you can anticipate in your refund. And something you just want to keep in mind with your refunds is those are meant to last throughout the entire time while you are abroad. So you'll just really want to think about how you plan to save and use that refund for your entire time abroad. And I encourage you to check out another presentation by some colleagues, a student, as well as a colleague in the study abroad office, where you can see some money saving tips and tricks. And it's called How to Ball Out on a Budget. So I encourage you to check out that video after this video. If you still have any additional questions for things that I may not have covered, please feel free to email me at fa_studyabroad@unc.edu. And I'll be happy to help answer any additional questions.